welcome to this festive edition of Three Fish on the Shirt. I've got with me Rossi in his festive jumper. Hi Rossi, how are you doing?
Not too bad, Dave, are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Now, tale of woe about illness and what have you, and apologies to anybody who was looking for an episode last week. We just couldn't make it happen with a level of viral activity that was going on, so we're getting there now. You might detect the odd cough today. We hope to keep that to a minimum for you. Merry Christmas and all the best for the new year to everyone. And if you don't follow us on YouTube, please do, because it helps us massively. And if you get a chance to take us with you on your travels, you can get hold of us on any of the platforms that you get podcasts from. Just ask for Three Fish on the Shirt, or you can ask your speaker to play Three Fish on the Shirt Grimsby Town podcast, and you should find us. So moving swiftly on, we've got a bit of backlog to catch up on in terms of the football. First of all, hope you've had a good Christmas, mate. Everybody okay at yours?
Yeah, they're all spot on. Little one's had her first Christmas, so she's buzzing. Well, say she's buzzing, she don't know anything about it. But
she likes all the pretty lights and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, basically, yeah. She likes unwrapping presents. She was soon breaking them open, so that's
and then playing with the boxes, yeah.
That's
it. So you know what to get her for next year? Boxes.
Yeah, cardboard box.
Yeah. No, good. That's good news. On the football front, we had a match away at Bromley on the 20th. We've played Oldham and Shrewsbury at home since, and whilst Bromley wasn't great, things have looked up since then. We'll catch up with that. But first, rewinding back to the bit we missed, Bromley away. We beat him 2-0 there last year with the Danny Rose Crab football goal, and one from Justin Abikwu. But this year it was a bit of a reversal on that, and Bromley flying high this year and keeping it going, and we didn't really look a match for them, I didn't think.
I said before the game started that it's going to be a tough game. I thought we needed to go two up top. We didn't go two up top. Bromley a very, very tall and hefty side. They're a very physical team where a lot of our players aren't. McKechnie and Cabia, them two, examples. McKechnie's not the biggest lad, so he's always going to get muscled off the ball. Cabia's never been good at heading, in my opinion. So against two really, really big centre backs, he wasn't going to win a header. So yeah, they made it hard for us, and in the end, it come out to them scoring 2 goals and beating us. But
the
scoreline didn't shock me. I did expect us to lose. I think it's 3-1 up. We was going to lose that game. So it's what it is. And you can see they're flying even since then.
I disagreed with David Artell for the first time after a match this year. And I know he's fairly formulaic in his response to questions about the way we played and criticisms about performance and all the rest of it. Often he sees it as I see it, and I've said that before many a time on the pod. But last week against Bromley, I just couldn't agree with the fact that it was an okay performance. I didn't think it was an okay performance by any stretch of the imagination. I thought it was lacklustre, too many individual mistakes. We set up wrong for a big physical team, as you've already alluded, and I just couldn't get behind that particular viewpoint. I was really, really disappointed with where we're heading up against Bromley, and it was our 8th game without a win, which is probably even more troubling a start, isn't it, at that point in the season?
Yeah, we needed a win. We needed to get. I'd have loved a point against Bromley. I really would. Even if we didn't get the win, I'd love a draw. But we just didn't have anything going for us. And Artell, I feel like especially against Bromley, he's the interviews around back then at that time, and to be fair, probably about now. Like he's already come out and said he's kind of saying the same stuff every interview now.
Yeah.
And he's sick of saying it, but that's the only thing he can say because he can't think of really what else to say about what's going on.
Well, and in fact, one of the things that he keeps saying is, we played all right, we're not clinical enough. I've told them they've got to be more clinical. It's one thing telling them, it's another thing getting them to do it. And I know he can't put the ball in the net for them. But I just sense we've got a bit of performance anxiety around the box now when we get the ball. We won't shoot from any further than about 10 yards. When we do get a shot in the box, one of 2 or 3 things happens. We snap at it and the ball bobbles around and there's not a clean effort. we managed to hit the keeper, or we managed to flash the ball across the front of the goal with a goal begging, no one there. And that's been happening consistently over those 10 games or those 8 games, and really, really frustrating when you're getting into those positions and not turning the ball in the net.
I think it's just too predictable most games now, especially recently, which we'll get onto. But it's getting to the point now where I think teams have sussed us out. They know where our threats are. If they are threats, that they just get rid of the threat because they know what they're going to do. Vernon, we know exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Go down the wing, try and clip him with his left foot. Or do about 50,000 step overs and then lose it. Because that's what he likes to do. Burns, I have really, really rated Burns, to be fair, the last couple of games. I do think he's been paid pretty well. I don't think he's a goal scorer, Burns. I do put him to score in our prediction league, but I don't think he's a goal scorer. I think he's a creator.
Yeah.
He just needs someone on the end of those chances.
He's a great crosser of the ball to get it to stand up in the box, ideally for a big target man to get on the end of, which we don't have at the minute until at least Gardner comes back or we do something in the window. But there's the quality of ball he can put in, we're just not taking advantage of, and we're faffing with it too much, to be honest. And I think teams have worked out what we're going to do and just realise if they crowd the ball as we start to play tiki-taka football in the box, then we're pretty, as you say, predictable and easy to nick the ball off or frustrate, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, Burns seems to be he cuts in on his left. He whips a good ball in. He can do it on the right. I think he's a very tricky winger. Is Burns. But the problem is with him and Vernon, to be honest. I do slate Vernon. Did on me one of my last reviews. I did against Oldham, I think it was, where everyone's saying he's had a good game. That's all right, but it's not doing a lot. It's all right having coming and cutting in and having shots here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think they've got to the point now, Burns and Vernon or anyone that plays on the wing, they can't really whip the ball into anyone in the striker position because they've got no one there to actually finish any chances.
How many times have you seen it? And when they do get there, somebody there, it's either behind them, in front, too far in front of them, or they've not made it into the space, which is shocking when you think, hang on, in a team that's been more creative, hopefully, in a team that's been charged with being more clinical, you'd want to be saying, look, guys, get in that 6-yard box because it's coming. The ball's coming in. And the number of times it flies through untouched is just, I don't know, it staggers me. Honestly, it does.
It'd be interesting to look back on if we get a stat somewhere who scored our last goal in that striker position. Because there must be a lengthy period only in the league. There must be a lengthy period where we've not scored a goal and it's actually been a striker that scored. It must, because it's either the wingers either who started or come off the bench, or Greeny, who's a midfielder, Walker, midfielder. None of them are strikers. We haven't got someone like that to be pinging the balls in. And I think, honestly, do think January can't come quick enough and we need to get someone in.
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Again, we looked shy of, other than KB's first few games and his other goals in the Cups, which have bolstered his total tally to 9. But in the league, I think he's on 7. It's just not really enough for what we're creating. And it's all right saying we scored 50 goals. We're great at creating.
I don't pay attention to it.
You can't use that as a stat when you're looking at 6 of them are out of the Virtue Cup. That's 10% of the goals, over 10% of the goals. Another 10% of the goals were scored in one match. More than 10% of the goals were scored in one match. You've got a couple of games where you've got another 6 goals, another 10%. So you take 4 or 5 games out, key games, and you've not scored many in the rest of the games, and that's been our problem until yesterday. We hadn't scored in since I was trying to work out when it was. It was a few games before that, wasn't it? Notts County was the game before that. We lost 2-0. Shrewsbury away, wasn't it? The penalty. Yeah.
Yeah.
and Burns' goal against Tranmere. With the 2 games before that, and since then we won for a 4th game last night without scoring, which isn't a team in its best attacking prowess, is it?
No.
Hats off to Bromley, though. I have to say, Andy Woodman, with sort of fairly limited resources, has managed to get them up there fighting in the top 3, and we'll come to where they are at the to date point. But they've sustained it. I mean, you've got to score 3 goals against them to stand a chance at their place, or 2 to get a draw, haven't you? We've said it before. Every week they score at least 2 goals at home.
Yeah, it's ridiculous at the minute, especially at home. Like you say, Michael Cheek's been adding to it. Again, we'll come to that. Last night, even the centre back, it's Sawunmi, I think his name is. He's been scoring from centre back. I don't think he'll be there next season because he's been scoring goals for fun. Even as centre back, they've got Pinnock. He's a good midfielder. He's 31 now. He's Pinnock, but he's running that midfield for him. Yeah. But they've come out of nowhere. And like I said to someone else, I think it was Dave, Tranmere Dave that we know. Today he gave me a ring and I said it would have been nice to know what their odds were before the season started and what Bromley were odds wise to either go up or whatever else. But I reckon they've been decent.
I think you're right. Because of I don't think they're anybody's expectation. I think, in fact, people have thought they've overachieved in previous seasons. But fair play to Andy Woodman. He's done a sterling job there, and I guess in the state of form we're in, it's probably no great surprise that we lost. And I think you've said that. So we'll tie Bromley up there and think, well, we've got a couple of home games now at Christmas. Brilliant. Six points in the bag, bit of a boost, and so we turn out Oldham Boxing Day, sell out no less. 7 odd thousand, it's over 7,500. Probably the loudest fans we've had this season in Oldham. I thought they were pretty loud.
Supposedly, I didn't go, but I heard them.
Yeah.
From when I was watching, 7-6, I think it was 1,100 from Oldham.
Yeah.
Nearly 12. So. Great following for them. I've seen all the videos on TikTok and
decent fans, honestly.
Boys.
I mean, not one for overpraising opposition's fans just for the sake of it, but credit where credit's due. They came, they made a lot of noise, and last night apparently at Walsall they did the same. Hearing the same sort of noises from there. So tough game. You say you watched on the box? Did you? Yeah, you managed to see it. And again, with a better side probably for the first half, without really causing too much bother. And then we're just huffing and puffing, doing the same stuff over and over again, expecting a different result. And it felt like I walked away from Blundell Park thinking it was a bit like a defeat almost, because A, we hadn't scored in 3 games, and that was our 3rd game without scoring a goal. B, we're at home for Christmas, and Christ, it's a great opportunity to get some points on the board with a big crowd in and a bit of a following, and we're just firing blanks, not great. And I genuinely was. It was as despondent a draw as I could have come away from.
Yeah, I said to someone else, I said it felt like both managers and both teams have come together in the changing room and gone, we're going to go for a mid-table clash. We're going to go out there, kick the ball about, run around, look like we're doing something, but actually we're not going to bother trying to shoot or actually trying to have a goal. We're just going to have a kick about. Yeah, that just really felt like it was. No one really felt like they wanted it. I thought Oldham weren't as good as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
They played played Tranmere a couple of days before.
Yeah,
and apparently they played really well there.
Their hat-trick hero from that day, Michael Mellon, he's the lad that went off with like he'd done his hamstring.
Yeah, didn't look very good either. Got stretchered off, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know why when they took him off, they didn't bring the stretcher for him when he was in trouble, because they had him sat on the side of the pitch for about 10-15 minutes, and you're thinking, Christ, he must be freezing out there. We were making jokes about frozen melon and stuff like that.
She'll laugh.
But yeah, he was largely kept quiet, wasn't he? And and then went off injured, and they didn't really have a lot to offer, to be honest.
No, I think, we had our chances where we've had a few balls pinged in the middle, and again, no one reaching it. Especially at the end, I think it was pretty much the last attack we had, where the ball come over, and I don't know how Greeny hasn't scored.
Yeah,
literally an open net, and if he connects with that and actually goes on target, it's in. I've no idea I didn't go in. I was screaming at the TV.
Instead a close up like that as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. And again, Mario, the monitor that I had nearly went halfway across the room because I don't know why he's gone to pass it through to Sintup Bell, and the pass was just horrendous.
I know. It's a really promising break as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, just pass it through to where he needs to be running to. Or even just pass it to his feet. But he passed it behind him to the right of him, and I'm like, it's like a 5-yard pass, if that.
Yeah. But it wasn't. It wasn't a great Boxing Day spectacle. I must admit, when I got to the car and I was listening to the radio, and I appreciate the effort that went into the game from Vernham, but I didn't think he had a very good game from an effectiveness point of view. But Gary Cross all over Humberside, saying how brilliant Vernham was and all this. Oh, Christ! He saved us at one point with a fantastic goal line clearance. But largely going forward, yes, he attacked, but I thought he was largely ineffective for the reasons we've said, i.e., dribbles into somebody and gives the ball away, holds the ball up and gets cut off inside because everybody's spotted that's what he's doing. And actually, the most effective he's been in these last few games, where we've been huffing and puffing, has been when he's actually gone outside and tried to get a crossing.
I said to someone else, because I did my review and people were slating me, saying, how can you take the mick, or not take the mick, but how can you slate Vernon for what he's done for us this season? I said, well, that's great and all. Yeah. And I was praising him when he was doing it. But like I said on there, that goal line clearance he did against Oldham was the best thing and only thing he's done in the last 8 games. Because other than that, he's not done anything.
Yeah.
He's been poor, so...
It's got a penalty at Shrewsbury, we'll give him that one.
Oh, well, yeah, but anyone can score with them, can't it?
No.
Apart from KB.
No, yeah, apart from KB. And Walker.
Yeah. But no, yeah, he's had a poor run, I think. He's so... Like, he had another shot. We'll get to it last night, but, that's skied. But, yeah, he is predictable now. And I do like him, don't get me wrong.
No, same. You want him to do well, don't you? I was the same with the Crew game and the... I forget which game it was where we ended up getting Pim sent off. Which one was that? Was it not one Colchester, was it?
Yeah.
Was it Colchester Pim got sent off?
Yeah. Pim? When he come out?
Yeah.
I can't remember now. Slept since then.
We've had many a game. But those 2 games where the one where Pim got sent off, whichever game it was, don't write him. We'll look it up and correct the record afterwards.
I can't remember. I think it might be Colchester.
We had the ball on the halfway line with Vernon. He plays it back to McJanet, and in the game where Pim got sent off, it was
he did.
Neither one thing nor the other pass. It was neither to Pim nor to McJanet, and McJanet didn't know what to do with it. And in the Crew game, it was a similar thing on that side. Ball comes back from that left hand wing, and we should be going out and going forward that way, not coming back in and creating danger for ourselves. And I've noticed it in a few teams now recently. One worryingly in the Lincolnshire Cup game with the kind of town reserves where Scunny got a penalty, but we'd given them the ball on the edge of our own box for them to get in and get the penalty. I thought that's like the reserve team, impersonating them. I mean, the starting team. Anyway, we sorted that and we got through to the next round against Cleethorpes Town, I believe it is. The semi-final, might be a big game for a Links Cup match. And again, that putting yourselves in danger from the playing out the back is you've got to be really spot on with your decision making. The other thing we didn't mention was that in those 2 games, Jackson Smith came back because of injury to Pim. What do we think's happened there then? It's a bit of an odd one.
Don't really want to go into it that much, but I don't think it's an injury.
Yeah, well,
It is.
it clearly officially is an injury because we got the on loan, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it is. The only thing I will say is we need to sign him, Smith.
be great. Yeah, seems to like
I
being
have
here,
heard.
doesn't he?
I have heard something
Mm.
about him that's supposedly going to be happening.
Right.
Um, all I've heard is obviously this his loan finishes tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is going to come out. On the 31st is when his loan finishes.
Right.
Um, my inkling and what I've heard is they're going to extend it again to go into January, and then I've heard they're going to sign him on a 6 month loan to the end of the season.
Right.
From Barnsley, and then after that, who knows? He might get permanent. I don't know.
Well,
If that's true, then fair enough because we need him. I think because again last night,
yeah,
well, again we'll get into it, but I think he's been solid.
he has, and we've seen after the Bromley game, which I don't think you could blame him for any of the Bromley game stuff, particularly. It was more about cross prevention again. I think we let the ball get in the box too easily, and I think that's a problem. But last two games, Oldham and last night, you got 2 clean sheets, and you know he's made some good stops, which you have to say in watching him over the last couple of months, you'd say he wouldn't have saved many of them. We'd have conceded a considerable number more.
Yeah, the Oldham game, I think he saved 2. That I'm pretty sure I saw. There was one of them in the first half where I think it was like an half volley, and it didn't look like there was any power behind it. But Smith, I don't know if he made it look hard, but he saved it. And there's one in the second half. But I was saying to other people, and again last night he made a good save. I don't think Pim would have got anywhere near them. I think he would have been nowhere near, and it would have got too slow for him.
Especially when he palmed it down and they had to spin round and collect the
Yeah,
loose
exactly.
Ball. At the other
Pim
end,
would
we
have been.
thought that'd gone over the line or something because
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, I think it would have took Pim about 2 business days to get back to that. But
Yeah. So last night we home to Shrewsbury in a second home game in 4 days. Shrewsbury really disappointing side. It's not really a surprise that they're where they are. But I thought we got into huff and puff mode again. I thought again we looked pretty good in the first half, and then the longer the game went on, you start to hear the moans and groans in the crowd as a loose ball goes astray or whatever. And I honestly thought we were heading for another 0-0 last night.
so did we.
Yeah, in the same frustrating fashion as we'd had on the Saturday.
Yeah, it's one of them where I think we thought it was going to be 0-0. It's one of them where it's frustrating because Shrewsbury didn't offer anything all game, in my opinion. Marquise was trying everything to try and get a penalty.
Yeah.
And try and win fouls, but I don't rate him. I just think he went down near us in the first half. I'm pretty sure it's first half. Yeah, it was. And he just fell on his arse. Like there's a player around him, but he's literally just gone over, wanting the foul. And I've spoken to some other people that watched on TV last night, and they said that there was one foul in the second half where he's ran into Farm. Farm just stood there and he just ran into him, wanting the penalty. But Shrewsbury didn't offer anything. They had the first effort in the first half. Second half, they had a few, one at the post.
Which is called back for offside, wasn't it?
Yeah. Smith was. He got a deflection on the way through, and I think that's what the offside was.
Yeah.
Smith was slow to get down to that one. But yeah, they didn't offer anything, and then I think we did deserve something out of it. The chances we did have. I think we did try and have a few from outside the box as well. Chance wise, which I think was good because Oldham, we actually never registered a shot outside the box against Oldham. Which I think we need to be doing more of. Even if it's just on target.
I know you don't have to shoot every time, do you? I get that.
No.
You don't want Harvey Rodgers having a pop every time he approaches the edge of the box.
Having a pop at all.
or McJanet or whatever. But every now and again, likes to walk more than capable of having a pop from a number of yards. And I thought he was unlucky to go off last night. I was a bit disappointed when he went off.
Yeah, we didn't get it either. Obviously, when we can see the subs pretty much bang on as soon as they're getting ready because I'm sat behind them. But we said, who was it come on? Green.
Yeah.
Green was getting warmed up. I was like, Corey's going to come off. Green and Walker. I started the Walker come off, and I was like, the thing was Walker. I don't think I've seen him have a bad game yet.
No.
I think he's consistent every game.
At
He
worst,
does a bit of defending.
he's 7 out of 10, isn't he?
Yeah, he does a bit of defending, and attacking wise, he tries to make something happen. He's here, there, and everywhere, and can't fault him, to be honest, at the minute. But I was surprised when he come off. But
I mean, you don't know what those
nice.
circumstances are, do you? But whether he needs a rep, when he needs 65 minutes or whatever.
Obviously, we've got these 2 other games coming up very shortly, and it's going to get rotating
exactly.
all.
So there might be a plan.
So, looks like we've got McEachran, McEachran Green. Who else come off the bench?
Analyse.
Yeah. Players like that where Nkabia, where you could actually can come off the bench and actually do something. And it was nice to actually see some of our stronger players, I guess, on the bench and coming on and actually making a shift. Because when I thought that trio come on with McEachran and the other 2, you could see the kind of tempo kind of changed.
Yeah.
And we're still going for it more in the second half. We needed something, and then obviously it finally come.
Well, as it turned out, the sub worked, but you could see probably some criticism coming David Artell's way had we not scored that goal. But we did, and the rest is history. But that was a goal born out of perseverance, wasn't it? Tap broke down a little bit, but fell to us in the box. Greeny managed to get it out wide, and I think it was Corey knocked it back across the box, and Analyse was handily placed to seemed to wrong foot the keeper, but stuck the ball away in the bottom corner, which was a nice feeling. And seeing on the TV and in the recordings that I've got, quite a loud roar for a 5,500 crowd. There's a lot of relief, I think.
It erupted. We watched obviously we was waiting. There's loads of us. I mean, Artell was getting abuse, well, not abuse, but he was getting a few comments behind him from our end saying, you need to start changing things up. You need to start, where's the 2 up top kind of thing. I was surprised he stuck with the 1 up top when he did bring everyone on. May as well come on. I thought he did a good shift. Did go down the wing, trying to cut in, and he's one of them players that he's got the strength and the pace, and he kind of proved that when he come on, I thought. But no, he took the goal well first time, placed the bottom corner. The keeper I thought was pretty bad though. I thought he could have got to it.
He must have been unsighted or something, because he he'd given up on it. He was like half on one knee, half not on one knee, and then he just sort of flopped to the floor after it had gone past him. But I've never been so relieved in recent times to see the ball go in the back of the net in the 83rd minute.
The crowd went mental. But I think it's just like I say, it's the pent up. I think it's pent up anger and frustration. Now we haven't scored in so long, we haven't won in so long, and then finally we're in a winning predicament. But obviously coming in the 83rd minute, so then you're obviously thinking, right now, don't blow it. We need to hang on now for God knows how many minutes it was in the end. Yeah. We need to stick with them, and they need to defend and get the ball away, which I think they managed to do. Because again, Shrewsbury didn't offer nothing. George Lloyd come on. He was just all over every player. Tried to jump over him.
Yeah, and he pepped it a bit for him, didn't he? And tried to run about a bit, but it's not prolific or anything like that, is he? Where you're thinking, oh Christ, he's likely to score.
No. And then I think Anike come on as well, and he tried, but nothing really happened. For Shrewsbury's point of view, I think Michael Appleton was very happy at all. None of his staff were, to be fair, but I don't think it'll be long before he starts looking for another job, in my opinion.
No, there's a lot of disquiet in the Shrewsbury ranks about Appleton and the owner, to be honest. Wycherley, is it? Ron Wycherley or something like that. He's under the cosh, but I think there's a lot of schools of thought that says that Appleton, isn't the man to take him forward. Let's say.
I never liked him, but I think that's just a Lincoln, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so he was here for a bit as a player as well. It was quite cool to get a Man United player on loan. He wasn't bad at all, but I'm not seeing a lot from him managerial wise that suggests he's a world beater. And I think the other thing was he referred to our goal as a scruffy goal. It might have been from a defensive point of view for them, but I thought it was quite well worked, to be honest.
It was well worked, and I thought the whole game was scruffy. I thought it was just all.
Yeah,
it was a mess. It wasn't great to watch.
Don't you think that the two games were fairly similar? The Oldham and the Shrewsbury game were not dissimilar.
Spot on.
All huffing and puffing, and that's why I thought it was going to be 0-0. I was sat there about 75 minutes thinking, "Oh God, here we go."
Yeah, I was thinking the same, and I thought he did take the goal well. I mean, I don't think he actually hit it cleanly.
No,
as such. But I don't care. I found the back end that
if it had hit it sweetly and it had gone over the pontoon, we'd have said, "Oh, wouldn't we?"
Yeah. But yeah, we won. So at the end of the day, we've got 3 points,
and
we need to crack on.
One of the people who's going to be claiming glory for that is my little nephew's lad Tommy. Went to his first game at Blundell Park last night. So well done, Tommy. Christmas spirit, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what do you reckon then?
No, I don't know. 1-0 to Town, I think.
Come on, let's see. We'll take it at the minute, I think, won't we?
I think so.
Here we are, the Grimsby lads. What do you think the score's going to be, Tommy?
5-0.
5-0 to Grimsby?
Yeah.
Good lad. That's what I like to hear. Got Mason with me. Mason, what do you reckon the score's going to be?
2-1 to Grimsby.
2-1 to Grimsby. And who do you think's going to score?
Daddy Rose and Charles Green.
Brilliant. Let's hope you're right. Cheers, mate. Let's get you in then. Tommy's first visit to Blundell Park.
This is the first time we've been on TV for my life.
First time.
I remember when you were on TV.
Yeah. See you, mate.
Tommy! Yeah?
You in here? Tommy!
We've got tickets.
Where's your tickets?
I'll go first, right?
If you want to highlight
Yeah.
See you, Tommy, enjoy.
okay.
Okay.
Push the gate, mate. Push. Walking.
He predicted a 5-0 win for Grimsby, so obviously now he's he's only 5. now he's been. He'll no doubt think differently about his future predictions. But our Jordan predicted a 1-0 win after worrying that Town might lose, and young Mason, their little other family member, he predicted a 2-1 win, which is a bit more realistic and closer to what the actual scoreline was. So well done, lads. Nice to see you at Blundell Park. And one of the things I love about the club is if you let them know about stuff like that happening, they do a little certificate for the kids and that. So Tommy's got a certificate of his first visit to Blundell Park. Hopefully we can keep it out of his uncle on his mum's side of the family's clutches, who wants him as an Arsenal fan. So we've got him firmly in the Grimsby Town clutches at the minute. So long may that continue. So that's last night. 3 points, two games, 2 clean sheets, 4 points from a possible 6. Sounds a lot better than 1 win in 10. It certainly sounds better than no wins in 10. Some tough games coming up though now.
Yeah. Over the Christmas period, I said these last 4 games. So Bromley, Oldham, Shrewsbury, Fleetwood. I said Bromley would lose. I expected wins against Oldham and Shrewsbury, and I said a draw against Fleetwood. I don't think I'm that far off yet. I think we could do wonders if we beat Fleetwood.
Yeah.
I've said 7 out of them 4.
You'd be back on the points tally that you wanted, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think it's just going to be hard to try and get that win against Fleetwood. I don't think we will, in my opinion.
What's the stat about Fleetwood at home? Yeah.
Fleetwood, they haven't lost at home in 13 matches.
Yeah, which is half the season, isn't it?
That's well going. So yeah, I will be predicting a draw.
Yeah.
when it comes around to it. But obviously, then we've got Cambridge again. We've got Cambridge on the Sunday, so both teams are doing well. Obviously, Cambridge got a win last night as well. Fleetwood drew to Salford, but both teams are doing well, and I think we need to beat these kind of teams to keep on going in the league. I mean, we're only 7 points off playoffs, by the way.
Yes, and that's one of the things, isn't it? We've said it before when we were doing well and we're ahead of people. The league's tight. I mean, you've got Walsall in the automatics on 43, third behind Bromley and Swindon. Bromley top of the league, as I was mentioning earlier. We're on 31, so we're 12 points behind them. But then there's 3 points to them and another point or two off for the rest of the top 7. And we're only, like you say, 6-7 points off that. And a lot further away from the relegation places, thankfully, on 17 points, which is a pretty good way behind, isn't it? So we can rest easy for now. But I wouldn't want us to be losing too many games soon. We want to be picking up them wins and draws now at home and away.
Yeah, I think the away ones are more important to try and get wins. Obviously, you've got to win at home. That's your main objective. But Fleetwood, like I say, draw will be beneficial. Cambridge probably a draw will be beneficial because they are two hard teams to play at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I say, 7 points off playoffs is not a lot at all. It just shows how tight the league still is.
Yeah.
If we actually got on a run where we can actually put a load of wins together, say if we beat Cambridge and Fleetwood, and other teams lost and whatnot, we're back in the mix again.
Absolutely.
We just got to keep on going.
Yeah. A couple of games, and if you beat, like say, one or two of the teams behind and around you, you push up that table. Interestingly, the Cambridge result you were talking about, they beat Chesterfield away, didn't they?
It is, yeah. Was it 1-0 in the end?
Yeah, 1-0 in the end. Yeah, it was a good result for them. Not so great for Colchester. Not Colchester, Chesterfield. Sorry. So yeah, I think they'll both be tough games, and it's a shocking fixture planning, isn't it? That to send them up to the northwest and then down to the south of Lincolnshire to cross over into Cambridgeshire and be at Cambridge on the Sunday. So yeah, it's a bit phenomenal. I don't know how many fans have been thinking it was on the Saturday, but because obviously we're playing on the on New Year's Day, it's got to be on the Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about going to one of them, but I'm not going to either. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure what my next idea is. We are thinking maybe going to Cheltenham away.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this next month, but yeah, we'll see. But 2 hard games, 2 wins we preferably need, but it's going to be tough. Yeah,
no, I'm not saying I've seen them fixtures looming on the horizon, and thought for a little while that they look quite tough games. Just to round up last night's matches, then, so we got quite a surprise score in the first one. Newport 2, Crewe 0. So Newport,
massive win for Newport.
Came good there. They got ahead in 28th minute, and then they'd add a second one midway through the second half. Accrington 1, Harrogate 0. Harrogate in a world of trouble down there with Newport and Bristol Rovers, I would suggest, and Shrewsbury.
A red card as well.
Yeah. Slater was sent off in the last minute for Harrogate. Bristol Rovers 0, Barnet 2. So new manager bounce hasn't really materialised for Bristol Rovers. They've lost 15 of their 23 games now, conceding 44 goals in the process. The
whole of 2025, they've lost 30 games in leagues.
Wow. Cheltenham 0, Swindon 2. Chesterfield 0, Cambridge 1, we've already mentioned. Crawley 1, Bromley 3, which sends them top. Gillingham 1, Colchester 1. Probably cancelled each other out. Well, we beat Swindon 1. Swindon? We didn't beat Swindon. Shrewsbury. We beat Shrewsbury 1-0 with Amalazor's 83rd minute winner. MK Dons and Notts County cancelled each other out at the MK Stadium. Salford and Fleetwood 0-0 and Tranmere 1, Barrow 3. And Barrow in a world of pain at the bottom. did themselves a massive favour last night by pulling away from that group at the bottom there a little bit with a win like that, and they had 10 men for the last 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Tranmere beat Barrow. I don't think Barrow have actually been that good at the moment. They've been pretty woeful, I think.
Yeah.
But they've seemed to have come out and turned up against Tranmere, and
Yeah.
they went down to 10 men. Barrow, I think someone said he got a yellow card, and then not long after
He booted the ball away as he was getting bollocked. I think.
Booted the ball away and got another yellow card and got sent off. But they still come away with a win, so I don't think it'd be that bad.
And he still comes away from that particular incident going, what? As I hadn't done anything. That referee stood like just there and really didn't help himself. Walsall won Oldham 2, so Oldham went in front. Walsall equalised just after half time, and then Harrop got the winner on 96 minutes for Oldham. A bit of a blow for Walsall there. Is that the start of their collapse again? The annual
I said this to someone else
Walsall
earlier.
Submarine?
I said this to someone else earlier, and I said that I wonder if this is like it is last season, where got to this point, they're doing really well, top of the league, gets to this point, and then they fall off. I lost last night. I don't know what their next 2 games are, but be interested to see what happens next. I can't see them doing it 2 years in a row, surely not.
You wouldn't have thought so, would you? But that
2 seasons, should I say.
That doesn't mean it won't. Let's see if we can find out what fixtures they've got. So, on New Year's Day, they've got Cambridge away.
Tough one.
That's tough. And on the 4th, they have got Fleetwood at home. So they've got the same teams as we've got.
Yeah, so it'll be tough then. Yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen with them, to be fair. Walsall need to pick up the points. Who knows? But we've seen it before, so will we see it again?
Yeah, well, let's hope we can see an upturn in Town's fortunes and hope the others kick the lumps of shit out of each other. So when we come to play them, they're all nicely softened up. So, as we said, the table top 7 is Bromley on 45, then Swindon and Walsall on 43, MK Dons and Salford on 40, followed by Notts County in 6th on 39, and Chesterfield and Cambridge on 7th and 8th, respectively on 38, Town in 15th on 31, and then from 21st down, you've got Shrewsbury Town, 19 points, Bristol Rovers 18 points, and then Newport and Harrogate bringing up the rear with 17 points each. Hard to see where they're going to pick points up over the next few weeks. But Newport did it last night with Crewe, and that was the standout result for me last night when I looked at the results.
Yeah, they need to. Well, I think they need to get some try and get people in January, but I'm not sure Newport have a lot of money to work with to try and get people in. No. But massive win last night, especially against Crewe side. They've got some really nice players to boost them up. They're not, shy about the playoffs and around the area. So really good win for Newport. Bet their fans are buzzing. I know Jason, who comes on TikTok quite a lot. He'll be buzzing. He's a Newport fan. He was there last night. So
someone's got to be.
Yeah,
sorry, Jason, if you're watching.
But no, it's nice to see, and I don't want Newport to go down. I don't actually mind Newport, to be honest.
They're not one of the clubs in my what I refer to as my private non-league list, like your Harrogates and your Crawleys, I dare say, and your Barnets, and your.
You say your thing is that you'd say Bromley are non-league and they're top of the league.
Well, that's whatever I think. It's irrelevant. It counts for nothing, but. Certainly in terms of where you feel like you want teams to go that way, they're the ones. And Bromley are in amongst that, but that makes the job they're doing even more remarkable. And fair play. There's a point where you have to say fair play to them, play to your strengths, and it's successful for them. And forgiving Andy Woodman for his bit of banter, and he's taking it in good part, so we'll let him off.
That time.
So, any other festive things in football you've seen over Christmas that you've thought we could use?
No, I don't think I have, to be fair. Not
No.
really, not
No, I
like I
haven't.
think off the top of my head.
No.
I've been watching the darts mainly.
Yeah.
World Championships on at the minute, so I've been watching that.
And one.
Yeah, and Littler had a word to say last night. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah. It's typical though in this country, isn't it? We build somebody up, and it's almost sort of made darts interesting again for many people. And then they're booing him just because he's good. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no, as far as I could ascertain, there's no other reason why they're booing him.
I didn't agree with what he said. Because I just feel like it's a bit like, okay, that's,
Yeah,
bit of one of them where you can get away with it.
But you're 18-year-old and you're getting attacked. You're probably going to bite back.
Yeah. But then that comes with the sport, though.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
You know, if you're going to want to be a professional darts player, you do get shit on the stage, and he's got to take that on his chin.
Yeah, and I think he'll learn from it. But I don't watch darts much any other time of the year, but I do find it interesting at this time of year when it's on late on a Christmas evening. You scroll through to find some sport to watch, and it's there. So that'll be interesting to see how he gets on this year. Whether we can bring it home again. It's certainly some of that festive stuff. So plenty of football still to come. There's some big Premier League action tonight with Villa who've won their last 11 games, competitive matches, which is pretty incredible, and certainly what Town want over the next 11 games is 11 wins.
Imagine.
But interestingly, it's not that long ago since about this time of year, just before the after Christmas kicks off again. Doncaster were below us in the table when we were struggling the season. We nearly went back down again when we were having run-ins with Colchester, who kept narrowing the pitch because it was too wet and all the rest of it. And Doncaster went on a run of about 10 wins on the trot to get up into the sort of playoff zone, having been behind us at Christmas in the bottom. So it's doable. It's just you've got to apply yourself. Not worry too much about what's gone before. We were talking about it the other day. There's really, we've talked about those other 3 matches that we've just mentioned, but they're almost irrelevant now. Those games, aren't they? In terms of the psychology of the players, it's what we do next that counts. And now you've got to say we've got a draw and a win, 2 clean sheets, 4 from 6. This has got to be the start of a run.
It needs to be. Yeah. It can't go on like this. Yeah. as what's his face? I'd say Mick McCarthy. Even though he said he can, but
it can.
No, I'm hoping it can. Yeah. I'm hoping it doesn't, but we'll have to wait and see. We need to turn it around.
He also stood at the edge of the dugout, giving off flirty looks, didn't he? As well.
Yeah, it was a funny manager. Wasn't
careless whisper. Barnsley lad, another Barnsley lad. So we've had our fair share of South Yorkshire managers in Hurst and now Artell. Let's hope he can bring home the bacon. But we've made it hard for ourselves, haven't we, this season now? After the cracking start, to now be in 15th with 8 wins, 7 draws, and 8 defeats. That's not dissimilar number of wins and draws to what we had, 7 or 8 games ago, is it?
Really?
It's turned a good start into a really mediocre mid-table look, hasn't it?
Yeah, just don't return it round, and hopefully Artell, can do that. I mean, I had, and I looked at League One yesterday, and of Donny, Port Vale, both in relegation zone in League One, at the moment, so they might come back down. Yeah, and that was another question that someone asked me. They said if Artell did leave or Grimsby got rid of Artell, would you take Darren Moore at Grimsby? And I said no.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't like him. I don't like the way he plays.
Anti-football, yeah.
Yeah, and he goes from one club to the next, and I don't really want that.
No, and as for you get the general poor form issue of people coming Artell out. I am absolutely nowhere near Artell out. I think the official position of this pod should be Artell in, absolutely no question.
No, 100%. There's a few people, again, giving him shit the last 2 games. Oldham I didn't go to, but I heard people told me that there was a few walking past him giving giving him some stuff. Last night there was a few in the stand who was shouting like, "You're going to change it up. We need to win this game." Blah blah. Artel actually turned around to a fan that walked past, because the fan walked past, and said, "Come on, David, get up behind him," kind of thing, trying to G up David. But then Artel said to the fan, "Well, get this lot singing." He wanted some more atmosphere in the ground, because I think it was dead. I said to Kerry, who sat next to, I said, you literally could hear a pin drop. It was that quiet at one point. Everything just went dead. There was no talking, nothing.
There is a responsibility on the team, though, isn't there, to do something about that as well.
Yeah, I said it's hard to cheer your team when your team's playing like they are at the minute.
And you've played
Don't
it
get me
like
wrong,
it for
you want to.
two solid games the same way, with the same outcome. Albeit last night we managed to get the outcome, but you start to get a bit, what's the point?
Yeah, it's hard to cheer your team when they're losing and whatnot, but
hopefully
now we can...
Being formulaic and a bit huffing and puffing, we've seen that for too many games now to be really buoyed and get behind it. It really is a challenge, isn't it? But I don't want it to become a battle between Artel and the fans, because it's not right either. Yeah, we need to get behind them, but they need to do something to get behind as well. Yeah,
I'm definitely Artel in. I'm not out yet.
So that's two out of three of us that are definitely Artel in. I think for a minute Steve will be Artel out, but we'll ask him when he comes on, and we'll come up with a view. So some looking forward to the games. We'll on New Year's Day and is it the 4th or the 5th? I forget the date.
4th, I think.
Yeah, which is the Sunday. So anybody travelling down to Cambridge, if you go down for the game on Saturday, you'll be a day early, and you'll have to hang on till the Sunday, miss an extra day of your weekend, and be late back for work on Monday morning probably. So thanks for your time, mate.
There is.
We'll reconvene in the new year to look at the Fleetwood and Cambridge matches, and hope you have a good one, mate. And we'll speak in the new year.
We will. Hopefully, the next new year will be full of surprises. We'll see what we've got in store for 2026.
Let's go on a run.
We need one.
Yeah. All right, mate. On the Mariners!
Not the Mariners.
Bit hoarse, wasn't it? Good day, mate. Well, that's a wrap for this week's Three Fish on This Shirt, your ultimate Grimsby Town podcast. Thanks for tuning in and being part of our community, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcast, through Amazon, Audible, Spotify, iHeartRadio or Podchaser, or anywhere else you get your podcasts from. If you're loving what we're doing and want more match analyses, in-depth discussions, exclusive interviews, then just hit subscribe. It's completely free and it helps us grow to bring you even better content, and it keeps that Mariners conversation alive. If you want to listen on the go, just ask your smart speaker to search for Three Fish on the Shirt, Grimsby Town Podcast, or find us at any of the podcast locations we've already mentioned. Drop a comment, leave a review, and share the pod with fellow Mariners, because football's always better when we talk about it together. Until next time, up the Mariners!